What if everything you thought you knew about love was wrong? What if love wasn't about fireworks, passion, or grand gestures, but something far deeper, something that determines not just who you love, but how you live? For centuries, people have searched for the meaning of love, from the wisdom of ancient philosophers to the teachings of great spiritual leaders. Yet, in today's world, love has been distorted, sold to us in movies, songs, and fairy tales as something that is instant, overwhelming, and effortless. But let me ask you. How do you know if you've truly found the right person? Perhaps you've been in a relationship that started with intense passion, but over time, left you feeling uncertain. Perhaps you've met someone who seemed perfect on paper, yet deep inside, something felt wrong. Or maybe you are with someone now and you keep asking yourself, is this love, or am I just afraid of being alone? True love isn't just about passion, it's about consistency, emotional security, and mutual growth. A person who truly loves you will not just make your heart race in the beginning, they will bring peace to your soul over time. They will not just make promises in the heat of the moment, they will prove their love through their actions every single day. The problem is, too many people mistake intensity for intimacy, control for care, and manipulation for devotion. They get trapped in relationships with narcissists, liars, or emotionally unavailable partners, thinking that suffering is part of love. But love should not be a battlefield. It should not leave you drained, anxious, or doubting your worth. So let me ask you again. Think about your past or current relationships. Did they make you feel emotionally safe, or were they full of uncertainty? In this video, we will expose the undeniable signs that you have found the right person. We will break through the illusions, dissect the red flags that masquerade as love, and give you the wisdom to recognize a relationship that will truly fulfill you. I will share real-life examples that will help you see your relationship with new eyes. And by the end of this video, you will have clarity to know if you are in the right relationship, or if it's time to walk away. Because the truth is this, the right love will not confuse you. It will not manipulate you. It will not break you down. It will make you stronger. Let's begin. Love is often misunderstood. Many believe it's about passion, intensity, or grand gestures. But in reality, true love is found in the small, consistent actions that build trust, security, and emotional connection over time. If you've ever wondered whether you're truly with the right person, pay close attention, because today, we will uncover the 12 undeniable signs of true love. These are not just romantic ideals but psychological truths that define a strong, lasting relationship. Let's begin. What if I told you that the greatest measure of true love is not how much someone desires you, but how much they accept you? Many people believe love is about becoming the perfect version of themselves, suppressing flaws, hiding vulnerabilities, and constantly performing to keep their partner interested. But love should feel like home, not a stage. Imagine this. A woman, Emma, is in a relationship with a man who always praises her when she looks her best, when she is cheerful, when she is saying the right things. But the moment she is upset, struggling, or even simply quiet, he withdraws. He tells her she's too sensitive, that she shouldn't be so emotional, and that no one likes a woman who complains. So what does she do? She starts suppressing her feelings. She forces a smile when she wants to cry. She filters her words to avoid conflict. She slowly erases parts of herself just to be loved. Now, let's consider another story. Olivia is in a relationship where she can be herself, fully, unapologetically. She doesn't feel pressure to be perfect. She laughs at her weird sense of humor, knowing her partner will laugh with her. When she has a bad day, she doesn't have to pretend, because she knows she will be met with understanding, not judgment. This is the difference between conditional love and real love. Real love does not ask you to fit into a mold. It does not make you feel like you must shrink yourself to be accepted. True love says, I see you. All of you. And I love you anyway. But here's the red flag. If you feel like you must constantly change yourself to be worthy of love, you are not in love, you are in survival mode. A relationship where you feel you must always please, always perform, always adjust to be enough is not a relationship that nurtures you, it is a relationship that slowly erodes your soul. So ask yourself. Do you feel safe being yourself in your relationship? Can you share your fears, your quirks, your dreams, without fear of being judged? Or do you feel like you must constantly edit yourself to be good enough? If you are afraid to be seen, then perhaps the person you are with does not truly love you, but only a version of you that they have created in their mind. But here's the truth, you deserve to be loved for who you are, not for who someone else wants you to be. And if you're in a relationship where you cannot be your true self, perhaps it's time to reconsider whether this is love, or just another illusion. Comment below, have you ever been in a relationship where you felt you had to change yourself? What did you learn from it? Your story could help someone else find clarity. Now, let's move on to the next sign of true love. Love should never be a prison. It should be a force that lifts you higher, that makes you stronger, that pushes you toward the person you are meant to become. But too often, people mistake control for care. They believe that if someone loves them, that person has the right to dictate their choices, to question their ambitions, to decide what is best for them. But true love does not limit you, it expands you. Let me tell you two different stories. Sarah was always passionate about writing. She dreamed of publishing a book, of sharing her ideas with the world. When she met Jake, she was excited to tell him about her aspirations. But every time she did, he laughed. That's unrealistic. Writing doesn't pay the bills. You're not talented enough to make it. Why don't you focus on something more practical? At first, Sarah thought he was just being logical, trying to protect her from disappointment. But over time, she noticed something, every time she shared a dream, he made her feel smaller. Instead of supporting her, he made her doubt herself. Instead of encouraging her, he kept her confined to a version of herself that served him, not her own potential. Now, let's look at another relationship. Emily also had dreams, she wanted to start her own business, to take risks, to challenge herself. Her partner, Daniel, didn't just listen, he believed in her. That's an incredible idea. What can I do to help? You've got what it takes, don't be afraid to go for it. Even if you fail, I'll be right here to support you. And because she felt safe, encouraged, empowered, Emily grew. She became more confident, more ambitious, more willing to take the steps necessary to create the life she truly wanted. This is the difference between love that nurtures and love that suffocates. A real partner will challenge you, not to make you feel small, but to push you toward your highest potential. They will call out your fears, not to humiliate you, but to remind you of your strength. They will support your dreams even when they don't fully understand them, because they believe in you, even on the days when you don't believe in yourself. So ask yourself. Does your partner inspire you to grow, or do they make you feel like your dreams are impossible? Do they stand by you, even when you take risks, or do they discourage you because it makes them uncomfortable? Do you feel like a better, stronger, more confident version of yourself in this relationship, or do you feel like you are shrinking? Here's the truth. If someone loves you, they will want to see you shine. If they are threatened by your growth, it is not love, it is control. And love is not control. Love is freedom, expansion, and the courage to become who you were always meant to be. Comment below, have you ever been in a relationship where someone tried to dim your light? How did you recognize it, and how did you break free? Your story could help someone else find clarity. Now, let's move on to the next sign of true love. Attraction can bring two people together, but it is shared values that keep them together. You can be deeply in love with someone, but if your core beliefs about life, family, and the future are completely different, you will eventually find yourselves walking in opposite directions. Let's take a look at two relationships. David and Anna had an incredible connection. The chemistry between them was undeniable. But when it came to their core values, they couldn't be more different. Anna dreamed of building a close-knit family, raising children in a stable home, and living in a way that aligned with her spiritual and moral beliefs. David, on the other hand, didn't want children. He valued complete independence and believed that life was about living in the moment, free from obligations. For years, they ignored this difference, convincing themselves that love alone would be enough. But deep down, resentment started to grow. Every time Anna talked about the future, David felt suffocated. Every time David resisted commitment, Anna felt abandoned. Love was there, but compatibility was not. Now, let's consider another couple, Michael and Sophia. They didn't just share passion, they shared a vision. They both valued family, personal growth, and financial responsibility. They didn't agree on everything, but on the fundamentals of life, they were aligned. This meant that when challenges arose, they worked as a team. When big life decisions had to be made, they didn't feel like they were pulling in opposite directions. Because at the core, they were already walking the same path. This is why shared values matter. It's easy to fall for someone based on passion, physical attraction, or shared interests. But if your beliefs about life, commitment, and purpose are fundamentally different, you are building a future on unstable ground. So ask yourself. Do you and your partner share a similar vision of the future? Do your beliefs about family, success, and personal growth align? Or are you constantly trying to compromise on things that feel essential to you? Here's the truth. Love is not enough. You need alignment, not in every opinion, but in the values that shape the foundation of your life. Because when attraction fades, it is your shared purpose that will keep you standing together. Comment below, have you ever been in a relationship where core values clashed? What did you learn from it? Your insight could help someone else gain clarity. Now, let's move on to the next sign of true love. Love is not just about the good times. It's about whether you can face the hard conversations together. True love does not silence you. It does not make you afraid to speak your mind, to express your fears, or to share your pain. The right partner makes difficult conversations safe. Let me give you two scenarios. Lisa was in a relationship where everything seemed perfect, until she needed to express something uncomfortable. Every time she tried to talk about her feelings, her partner would dismiss her. You're overreacting. Why do you always have to bring up problems? Just let it go. It's not a big deal. Slowly, Lisa stopped talking. She stopped sharing. She started pretending everything was fine, even when it wasn't. And in doing so, she lost a part of herself, because when communication is shut down, the relationship is already dying. Now, let's look at another relationship. James and Sarah had disagreements, like any couple. But whenever Sarah had concerns, James would sit down, listen, and ask. What's wrong? Help me understand. I may not agree, but your feelings matter to me. Let's work through this together. Sarah never felt like she had to suppress her emotions. She knew that no matter how difficult the conversation, she was safe to speak. That is love. Here's the red flag. If your partner avoids deep conversations, invalidates your emotions, or makes you feel like your concerns are too much, they are not emotionally available. And without communication, there is no real connection, only an illusion of one. So ask yourself. Can you speak freely in your relationship? Do you feel heard, or do you feel dismissed? When something is wrong, do you talk about it, or do you walk on eggshells, afraid of their reaction? Here's the truth. The right person will not make you afraid of your own voice. Because love is not just about passion, it's about understanding, trust, and the ability to be fully seen without fear. Speech balloon comment below, have you ever been in a relationship where you felt silenced? How did you realize it, and what did you do? Your story could help someone else find clarity. Now, let's move on to the next sign of true love. Most people think that a strong relationship is one without arguments. That is a myth. In reality, a relationship without disagreements is not a sign of peace, it is a sign of avoidance. True love is not about never arguing, but about how you argue. Because disagreements will happen. But the right person will not weaponize them. They will not use your fears against you. They will not humiliate you, manipulate you, or try to win at your expense. Let me tell you two stories. Emma and Chris seemed perfect together. They never argued, because Emma never spoke up. Every time she was hurt, she kept quiet. Every time she felt misunderstood, she told herself it wasn't worth the fight. Why? Because when she did try to express herself, Chris would explode in anger or withdraw completely. He would make her feel guilty for even bringing it up. So she learned to suppress her emotions, to keep the relationship peaceful. But peace built on silence is not peace at all. It is a slow destruction of the self. Now, let's look at another couple. Ethan and Sophia argued too. But when they fought with respect. They didn't yell over each other. They didn't try to hurt each other. They didn't say things they would regret. Instead, they argued to understand, not to win. I hear you. I don't agree, but I want to understand why you feel this way. I'm upset, but I don't want to hurt you. Let's talk. Let's take a break and come back when we're calm. Because the goal was never to win the fight, it was to strengthen the relationship. Here's the red flag. If arguments leave you feeling disrespected, unheard, or emotionally exhausted, it is not a healthy relationship. If your partner attacks your character instead of solving the problem, if they make you feel like you are too much for having emotions, then this is not love, it is emotional manipulation. So ask yourself. When you argue, does your partner listen, or do they just try to win the fight? Do you feel safe expressing your emotions, or do you feel like you have to stay silent? After a disagreement, do you feel closer, or do you feel drained, hurt, and alone? Here's the truth. Healthy relationships are not about avoiding arguments. They are about learning how to fight with love, with respect, and with the intention of growing stronger together. Because in the end, the right person will never make you afraid of your own voice. Comment below, have you ever experienced a relationship where arguments were used as weapons? How did you recognize it, and what did you do? Your experience might help someone else gain clarity. Now, let's move on to the next sign of true love. Love is not just about grand gestures or breathtaking experiences. True love is found in the quiet, ordinary moments, the times when nothing extraordinary is happening, yet you still feel at peace, deeply connected, and completely at home with each other. Many relationships depend on excitement, lavish vacations, expensive gifts, elaborate date nights. But what happens when the excitement fades? What happens in the silences? Let me tell you two stories. Sophia and Mark had a relationship filled with thrills, weekend getaways, fine dining, adventure sports. Everything seemed perfect as long as they were doing something exciting. But in the moments of stillness, when there were no plans, no distractions, something felt empty. Conversations became forced. Being alone together felt like a chore. One night, Sophia realized something. Without all the excitement, do we even enjoy being with each other? Now, let's look at another couple, Ethan and Mia. They didn't need constant excitement to feel connected. They could sit together in silence, lost in their own thoughts, yet still feel close. A simple walk in the park, cooking a meal together, or even just reading in the same room made them feel at ease. Because real love isn't about chasing moments, it's about feeling at home in the presence of another person, even in the stillness. Here's the red flag. If your relationship only thrives in excitement, if you only feel happy when something extravagant is happening, then what you are experiencing is not deep emotional connection, but temporary stimulation. So ask yourself. Do you enjoy the quiet, simple moments with your partner? Can you sit in silence together and still feel connected? Or does your relationship depend on distractions to stay alive? Here's the truth. Passion comes and goes, but true connection remains. The right person is not just someone who makes your heart race in the thrill of the moment, but someone who makes your soul feel at peace in the stillness. Comment below, have you ever been in a relationship that depended on excitement? How did you realize it, and what did you learn? Your experience might help someone else find clarity. Now, let's move on to the next sign of true love. Love is not possession. It is freedom. A healthy relationship is not about merging into one person, losing your individuality, or constantly being together. It's about two independent people choosing each other, without losing themselves. But too many relationships fall into control, suffocation, and possessiveness under the disguise of love. Let me give you two examples. Emma and Jake were inseparable. At first, it felt romantic. Jake always wanted to be around her, he needed her, he constantly checked on her. But soon, Emma realized something. Whenever she wanted time for herself, to see friends, to pursue a hobby, or simply to have a quiet evening alone, Jake would make her feel guilty. Why do you need time away from me? Are you hiding something? If you really loved me, you wouldn't need space. Slowly, Emma's world became smaller. She stopped seeing friends. She gave up her hobbies. And one day, she looked in the mirror and realized. Who am I outside of this relationship? Now, let's look at another couple, Daniel and Sophia. They loved spending time together, but they also respected each other's independence. Daniel encouraged Sophia to have time for herself. He supported her friendships. He never made her feel guilty for needing space. And Sophia did the same for him. When they were together, they were fully present. But when they were apart, they trusted each other without fear, without control, without insecurity. Because true love does not suffocate, it breathes. Here's the red flag. If your partner makes you feel guilty for needing space, if they constantly monitor your actions, if they need to control every aspect of your life, this is not love. This is possession, insecurity, and control. So ask yourself. Can you have time for yourself without feeling guilty? Does your partner support your independence, or do they see it as a threat? Do you feel free to be yourself, or do you feel trapped? Here's the truth. A loving partner will never be threatened by your individuality. Because real love does not seek to own you, it seeks to honor you, as a complete person, with your own life, dreams, and identity. Comment below, have you ever been in a relationship where personal space was not respected? How did you recognize it, and what did you do? Your story could help someone else find clarity. Now, let's move on to the next sign of true love. Love is not a competition, it's a partnership. In a truly healthy relationship, your partner's success should feel like a win for both of you. Because love is about building together, not tearing each other down. But too often, relationships turn into hidden rivalries. Let me tell you two stories. Samantha and Eric had been dating for 3 years. When Samantha got a promotion at work, she was ecstatic. But Eric's response? Oh, must be nice. Some of us don't get lucky like that. Great. Now you'll be too busy for me. Well, I guess I should just give up on my dreams since you're the successful one now. Instead of feeling happy for her, Eric felt threatened. Instead of celebrating her growth, he made her feel guilty for it. Over time, Samantha realized that no matter how much she loved him, she could never shrink herself enough to make him feel secure. Now, let's look at another couple, Michael and Julia. Julia had always dreamed of starting her own business. When she finally landed her first big client, Michael celebrated with her like it was his own victory. You worked so hard for this, I'm so proud of you. Let's go out tonight and celebrate your achievement. This is just the beginning. I believe in you. Michael understood something powerful. When one partner succeeds, the relationship succeeds. Because love is not about keeping score, it's about lifting each other higher. Here's the red flag. If your partner feels threatened by your success, if they subtly try to downplay your achievements, or if they make you feel guilty for growing, then what you have is not love. It's insecurity disguised as affection. So ask yourself. Does your partner genuinely celebrate your achievements? Do they encourage you to grow, or do they feel threatened by it? When you succeed, do they make it about them, or do they stand by you with pride? Here's the truth. Real love does not fear your greatness. The right person will not try to dim your light to make themselves feel bigger. They will stand beside you, cheer for you, and take pride in watching you shine. Comment below, have you ever been in a relationship where your success felt like a problem? How did you recognize it, and what did you do? Your story could help someone else find clarity. Now, let's move on to the next sign of true love. Love should feel stable, not like an emotional roller coaster. In a healthy relationship, you don't spend your days wondering where you stand. You don't live in a cycle of extreme highs and devastating lows. Real love is consistent, safe, and predictable in the best way possible. But too many people mistake chaos for passion. Let me tell you two stories. Sophia and Ryan had an intense relationship. One day, he would shower her with affection, telling her she was the most important person in his life. The next, he would disappear, ignoring her texts, acting cold, making her question what she did wrong. And just when she was about to walk away, he would pull her back in, with apologies, grand gestures, and promises to change. This cycle repeated over and over again, leaving her constantly anxious, constantly trying to earn his love. She didn't realize it yet, but she was in a toxic push-pull dynamic. She was addicted to the uncertainty, mistaking the highs and lows for passion. Now, let's look at another couple, Michael and Emily. With Michael, Emily never had to guess how he felt. She didn't wake up wondering if today would be good or bad. She didn't have to overanalyze his messages or walk on eggshells, afraid of triggering his anger. She knew where she stood. Because real love doesn't make you feel insecure, anxious, or emotionally exhausted. It makes you feel safe, valued, and deeply understood. Here's the red flag. If your relationship makes you feel like you're constantly being tested, like you're always trying to prove your worth, like love is something you have to chase, then it is not love. It is emotional manipulation. So ask yourself. Do you feel emotionally safe in your relationship? Do you know where you stand, or are you always questioning it? Does love feel stable and secure, or like a game you're trying to win? Here's the truth. Love is not meant to feel like a battlefield. The right person will never make you doubt your place in their life. They will show up consistently, with love that is steady, reassuring, and real. Comment below, have you ever been in a relationship where emotional security was missing? How did you recognize it, and what did you do? Your story could help someone else find clarity. Now, let's move on to the next sign of true love. Love is a partnership, not a transaction. Too many relationships turn into power struggles, where one person always wins and the other always loses. But true love is not about who gets their way, it's about finding common ground without resentment. A healthy relationship is built on mutual sacrifice, not one-sided surrender. Let me tell you two stories. Sarah and Jake were in a relationship where compromise didn't exist. Jake made all the decisions, where they ate, where they traveled, even how they spent their weekends. If Sarah ever wanted something different, he would say, "If you really love me, you wouldn't complain. Why can't you just go along with it? Stop being so difficult." Sarah found herself suppressing her needs, always giving in, until one day, she realized. This isn't love. This is control. Now, let's look at another couple, Daniel and Mia. They didn't always agree. But when they had conflicting needs, they found a middle ground. If Daniel wanted to stay in, but Mia wanted to go out, they alternated. If Mia wanted sushi, but Daniel wanted pizza, they found a place with both. If one of them had to sacrifice something, the other acknowledged it and appreciated it. There was no keeping score, no hidden resentment. Because they understood something important. Compromise should feel fair. It should feel like teamwork. Here's the red flag. If your relationship feels one-sided, if one person is always sacrificing while the other takes without giving back, then it's not love, it's emotional exploitation. So ask yourself. Does compromise feel natural, or does it feel like a loss? Do both of you adjust, or does one person always have to give in? When you make sacrifices, does your partner acknowledge and appreciate them? Here's the truth. The right relationship is not about winning and losing. It's about choosing each other, again and again, with respect, fairness, and love. Speech balloon comment below, have you ever been in a one-sided relationship where compromise didn't exist? How did you recognize it, and what did you do? Your experience could help someone else gain clarity. Now, let's move on to the next sign of true love. Love is not just about deep conversations and serious commitments. It's about joy, fun, and laughter. Because real love is not just about facing life's struggles together, it's about making those struggles easier to bear. A relationship without humor and light-hearted moments is not a relationship, it's an obligation. Let me tell you two stories. Emma and Jake were in a relationship that, on paper, had everything. But something was missing, joy. Their conversations were practical, their time together felt routine, and every interaction seemed like work. One day, Emma realized she wasn't smiling as much. There were no inside jokes, no playful moments, just tension, stress, and responsibility. She asked herself, if love is supposed to make life better, why does this feel so heavy? Now, let's look at another couple, Daniel and Mia. Their relationship had its ups and downs, but no matter what, they could always laugh together. They had inside jokes that only they understood, they teased each other in ways that felt loving, and even in difficult times, they could find something to smile about. One night, after a long, stressful day, Mia broke down in tears. Daniel sat beside her, gave her a hug, and said, "Well, at least now we know you can cry for an Oscar." She laughed through her tears, and in that moment, everything felt lighter. Because real love is not just about being serious together, it's about finding joy in the simplest of moments. Here's the red flag. If your relationship feels like a constant battle, if there is no lightness, no laughter, and every conversation is tense, then something is missing. A relationship without joy is not love, it's emotional drainage. So ask yourself. Do you and your partner share laughter, inside jokes, and playful moments? Does your relationship feel joyful, or does it feel like constant work? Can you smile together, even in difficult times? Here's the truth. Love should feel like a safe place, not a battlefield. The right person won't just stand beside you in the storm, they will find a way to make you smile through it. Comment below, have you ever been in a relationship that lacked joy? How did you recognize it, and what did you do? Your story could help someone else gain clarity. Now, let's move on to the next sign of true love. The right person fits naturally into your vision of the future. Love is not just about the present moment, it's about where you see yourself years from now. A truly compatible partner should not feel like an uncertain question mark in your future. Instead, when you think about the next 5, 10, or even 20 years, they should fit into that vision with ease. Let me tell you two stories. Anna and Mark had been dating for 3 years. Whenever people asked them about the future, marriage, children, long-term goals, Mark would change the subject or laugh it off. Why do we have to talk about the future? Let's just enjoy today. At first, Anna thought he just wanted to take things slow. But over time, she realized something. When she imagined her future, Mark wasn't in it. And deep down, that realization filled her with doubt, not peace. Now, let's look at another couple, Michael and Rachel. When Rachel imagined her future, Michael was already there. Not because she forced him into her vision, but because it made sense. When they talked about where they wanted to live, their dreams aligned. When they planned vacations, they both saw them as experiences they'd share for years to come. When they discussed their careers, their goals complemented each other, not clashed. Rachel didn't have to force Michael into her future, he naturally belonged there. Here's the red flag. If thinking about a future with your partner fills you with anxiety, uncertainty, or hesitation, that's your intuition telling you something isn't right. So ask yourself. When you think about your future, does your partner fit into it naturally? Do your long-term goals align, or are they constantly clashing? Does imagining a life with them bring you peace, or does it create doubt? Here's the truth. Love should not feel like a countdown to a difficult decision. The right person will not make you feel like you're gambling with your future. Instead, they will feel like the missing piece that fits effortlessly into the life you're building. Speech balloon comment below, have you ever been in a relationship where the future felt unclear? How did you recognize it, and what did you do? Your story could help someone else gain clarity. Now, let's move on to the final thoughts on recognizing true love. We've explored the 12 undeniable signs of true love. And if there's one thing I want you to remember, it's this. Love is not just about intensity, it's about consistency. Too often, people mistake passion for love, thinking that extreme highs and dramatic emotions mean something is real. But in reality, true love is stable, secure, and deeply fulfilling. Let's take a moment to reflect. Think about your current or past relationships. Do these 12 signs exist? Do you feel safe, respected, and valued? Or do you see more red flags than green ones? If love makes you doubt yourself, if it makes you feel small, if it constantly fills you with uncertainty, then it is not love. It is a lesson. And here's something important to understand. You deserve better. If your relationship doesn't make you feel safe, supported, and empowered, you have the right to walk away. Real love doesn't make you chase after it. Real love chooses you, every single day. And if you haven't found it yet, don't settle. Because the love that is meant for you, the kind that is genuine, uplifting, and long-lasting, will never require you to lose yourself in the process. So now, I want to hear from you. Which sign resonated with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to this channel for more psychological insights on love, relationships, and self-mastery. Because the more we understand about love, the more we can recognize it when it finally arrives.